Hey everybody, it's Dr. Jeff. Today I'm going to talk about the link between the GLP-1 drugs and thyroid cancer. It seems that this is the biggest question we have been getting in the activated weight loss group. One of the administrators of the group, 𝐂𝐚𝐧𝐤, reached out to me yesterday and asked if I would cover this on one of my videos. So this morning when I woke up around 7 o'clock, I had my cup of tea. I have a second cup with me right now because I think I've caught a little cold, and occasionally I get a little tickle in the back of my throat. So if I cough, excuse me. But I got up at 7 o'clock. And I opened my computer and I went on PubMed and I looked at all the articles that were published in about the last 10 to 12 years on the link between GLP-1 drugs and thyroid cancer. And here's what I found. One of the first articles that came out in 2013. It was an animal study. It was done on laboratory rats, and they injected the rats with a GLP-1 drug, and they found that, and the and the injection was about the same concentration they would give to humans. And they found that there was a slight increase in thyroid cancer in those laboratory animals. When that happens, then they start looking at human studies. And it's not necessarily human studies where they're following people that are currently taking the GLP-1 drugs and seeing if they develop thyroid cancer. That would take a long time. So what they do is they do a retrospective study, or what they call a cohort study. And so there has been several cohort studies. On the article on the right-hand side of the screen, there are 7 cohort studies that were done there. Only one that was done in 2023 shows the slightest increase in thyroid cancer among the group that was taking the GLP-1 drugs. This was a cohort that was about 45,000 people in the study. The study on the left side was my favorite by far out of all the studies I read this morning. It's a large study. They followed patients over a period, excuse me. They followed patients over a period of about 4 years, and they looked at a lot of patients. The control group was 291,000 patients. The study group was 145,000 patients. And here's what they found. The thyroid cancer in the control group was 1.46. That means 1.46 cases out of 10,000 people. In the GLP-1 group, it was only 1.33. So actually the GLP-1 group had a lower cancer rate than the control group, than the regular population. And this was repeated in several other studies. So there's really very little evidence showing a link between the GLP-1 drugs and thyroid cancer. So let's go to the new mind-body GLP-1 activator. This is completely different. These are essentially items, herbs that are found in basic food. They can be in things that we could eat every single day. We're looking at things like lemon and licorice and berberine and honeysuckle and tea and eggplant. These are all things that are in our diet. So these are not going to cause thyroid cancer. I actually did a Google search on each one of the items that is in the ingredient list, and I could see no crossover with any of those items ever being linked to any kind of cancer. So with that being said, I think it's completely safe for people to take the mind-body GLP-1 activator, even if they have thyroid disease, even if they have a family history of thyroid cancer, and in my opinion, and once again, this is just my opinion, even if they've had a past history of thyroid cancer, I do not think that there's any link, even between the GLP-1 drugs and thyroid cancer, let alone with the mind-body GLP-1 activator. So let's switch gears for just a second. So why do you think this could have come up? Here's my theory on this. we know that the people that are on the GLP-1 drugs were either diabetic or overweight. And that's probably a crossover. Majority of diabetics are also, especially type 2 diabetics, are also overweight. So if they're overweight, they're probably eating a highly processed diet. If they're eating a highly processed diet, they have increased oxidative stress and free radicals. Increased oxidative stress and free radicals increases your risk of cancer. So the root cause of this may not be the GLP-1 drugs, but may actually be the oxidative stress that preceded all of this and was caused by the fact that they were overweight and possibly obese. That may be the root cause. So the answer to the question is, I feel it's perfectly safe. If you've had a previous history of thyroid cancer, I would at least run it by your doctor and show him the ingredient list. That's always the safe thing to do. If you have a specific case that you want to discuss with me, you can find me in the group. You can talk to anybody in the Activated Weight Loss group. They all know how to find me. It was a pleasure doing this for you. If you have any questions, reach out, and have a great and blessed rest of your week. Bye-bye for now.